Hi, this is Hille on Wednesday the 16th of May 2013, and I'm going to be talking today about stock screening and how to find some interesting things about stocks and the tools that I use to do that. Now before I do that, I want to be clear about the disclaimer. Obviously everything that I'll be talking about today, in fact everything I talk about in all of my videos, are educational, and they are not calling trades or saying what you should or should not trade, and that is especially the case with this video, because the stock that I'm going to look at I do not have a position in. I have no intention of taking a position in. It's simply used for educational purposes and just used as an interesting example. So please read this disclaimer. If you don't agree, then please stop watching. Okay, so that's the disclaimer. As I say, pause the video and read that, and if you don't agree with everything that's said there, then please stop watching. Okay, here I am on Zacks.com, Z-A-C-K-S.com, which is a fantastic free service for screening stocks. Now that just means out of the universe of stocks, you can choose a whole lot of different measures to decide which stocks you want to look at or not. So that will become a little bit more clear to you as I go through the video. So this is the first page you come to when you're at Zacks.com/screening/stock screener, although if you just go to Zacks.com it's pretty easy to find this page. You're just looking for the stock screener, and so I'm able to put in any type of search request in this section, and in fact I'm allowed to combine search requests so that only the stocks that meet my search criteria will come up. So essentially the universe of stocks is a massive database, and Zacks.com allows you to search that database. Okay, so the first thing I am interested in this particular example is stocks with a net income greater than zero. So I want a company that is profitable and made a profit last year, not a loss-making company. So in order to do that, and you can spend time playing around with this, but I'm just going to show you this example. If I click on income statement and growth, and then I click on net income, I don't actually click on it, I decide to go greater than or equals to, and I go 0. Therefore obviously I'm interested in companies that made more money than $0 last year, so I add that, and it thinks about it, and right now there are 4,057 companies or listed stocks that made profit last year in this database. But that's not all. I'm also interested in valuations, and particularly I'm interested in price divided by book. Now price divided by book, actually I'll mouse over this and you can read this at your leisure, but let me give you the short version, is the stock market's value of the stock, so the total value of the stock, divided by the stock's book value, and the book value is the total assets less the total liabilities. So a shorthand way of thinking about that is if you purchased the whole company, sold all of the assets and paid off the liabilities, how much would you have left? So I'm interested in companies with price over book is greater than 0.5. In fact, I want it to be less than 0.5. Sorry about that. So what I'm saying is that if you sold all of the assets and paid off the liabilities, there would be double or more the amount of cash available. So let's add that in as well. Okay, so price to book is less than 0.5. Net income is positive, and then I click on this button, run screen. Actually I'll go back because I should have pointed out something. You can see here how many companies we're looking at. They're only brought up 214 out of the thousands available. So run the screen, and then it comes up with the list of those 214,000 companies. Okay, now I've just picked one out that I thought was interesting, and that is AMS. So I have gone to, and I'll show you this, a different tab. And what I've done is I've gone to NASDAQ.com, because NASDAQ.com has among the best pieces of information on particular stocks. And I've typed in already, you can do this obviously, you can just type in AMS or American Shared Hospital Services, and up will come the information you need. And actually it won't come up on this particular page. It'll most likely come up with a flash quote. So I'll show you what it'll likely come up with. Okay. So if I click on this one, it'll probably give me the details I need. Okay, so it says that the share price was unchanged in the last period, the last day, and just a bit more information about the stock and the share price. Okay, so that's just general information. What I'm particularly interested in is coming down and clicking on this income statement button. Now it actually shows you a summary of all the financial statements, but let's have a look at income statement. Scroll down, and what we're actually interested in is the balance sheet. So click on balance sheet. Thinking about it. And here we have the latest period, and we might as well go with the latest period. And we have total assets 73, this is millions, you can see here values in millions, 73.323, that's our total assets. Remember I was saying that we wanted to look at total assets less total liabilities. 73.323, that's millions. And then total liabilities 53.394, and if you calculate that, you'll find that is 19.929 million. Okay, so that is the net assets of the business. If you bought the whole business, sold off the assets and paid off the liabilities, that's what you'd have left. Now of course there are assumptions based, you know, you're assuming that you can sell these assets for what they say they can be sold for, and you're assuming that your total liabilities are that amount. So you'd have to know a bit about accounting to know whether those assumptions were valid, and you'd also have to look at things like the notes to the accounts. So I'm not forming an accounting opinion, I'm just doing a top level approach, and given that I accept this information on face value, which I certainly would dial down and look at later on, but initially let's have a look at making this assumption. Therefore I've got this 19,929. Then I need to know how many shares are outstanding so that I can work out how many dollars there are of value held per share if we were to liquidate the company. So then I go to finance.yahoo.com, and you can simply type in AMS here, and then you'll find American Shared Hospital Services. I've already done that obviously. Now you come to this page, and then you need to click again, come down here where it says key statistics, click under more key statistics, click on that rather, more key statistics. Here we go, more information, and here we are, share statistics, shares outstanding 4.6 million. So we divide our 19.929 million by 4.6 million, 4600000. No, I did that wrong. Okay, divide that by 4600000, and you will come up with a figure of $4.33. Okay, so what does that tell me? That tells me if I bought this whole company at the current share price, which is, let's come up and go back to info quotes. If I bought the whole company, and assuming that I was able to buy the whole company at $1.61 per share, I could then liquidate the whole company, assuming the accounting entries are correct, and I would get $4.33 per share. So therefore, minus 1.61, I would put in my pocket $2.72 per share. Now obviously we're not interested in purchasing the whole company, but what we are interested in doing is finding companies that have greater value than the cost of the shares. Therefore, if we are correct in our analysis, then at some point in time that $1.61 will go up to meet what we consider the net value of this company. Again, I have no intention of purchasing this company. I do not think it is a bargain at $1.61. I haven't not done the analysis required for that. I would do an awful lot of analysis if I was going to look at that. I don't even know what this company do or how they do it. So please don't think that this is some sort of recommendation. It is not. It's just showing you the kind of things that you can do. Now there's one other thing I want to show you, and that is call transcripts under fundamentals here. And the interesting thing about call transcripts is you can find out an awful lot about the company, how it does, what challenges it has, because what happens is after they announce their results, generally the CEO and the CFO of the company will talk openly in public about what is happening with the company. And so here we are, this is transcript by Seeking Alpha, AMS the company, here's the date, May the 14th, it was 2 days ago, who was on the call, so we've got the CFO and the Principal Accounting Officer, and here we go, we have all of what was discussed, and then you have to go to seekingalpha.com to read the rest of the transcript. But if you are doing research on a company and you want to see if it's a company you might want to invest in, then it's usually a very good idea spending a few minutes reading the transcript, and often you can get some key bits of information that the market probably isn't aware of because most people don't bother going to look at the transcripts. Find key pieces of information to aid your investment decision. Okay, so what have I talked about in this video? Essentially, there are thousands and thousands of stocks available to buy. As you know, by seeing stock prices go up and go down, there are times when stock prices are discounted to what they're actually worth. There are opportunities in the market at any time. I like to think of it like finding treasure. Somewhere in those thousands of companies there will be undervalued companies. Can I be smarter than the bulk of people out there and do clever research and find opportunities that nobody else is seeing or not many people are seeing to buy good companies cheaply and therefore make a profit on them? Here is one way of screening them, screening for companies, trying to find them, finding out more information about them, and giving you putting the odds in your favor to find an undervalued stock. Happy trading. Hope you enjoyed this video. Talk soon.